What's up, world? This is your boy E, and we're back again with another video. And we've all heard the song God's Plan by Drake. And if you haven't, you need to go look it up because you're like 10 years behind right now.
What year is it?
But in the song, Drake, he talks about, just persevering, hanging out with his friends, and he got, that there's a lot of bad things that people are wishing on him, overcoming his enemies and his success and all those types of things. And it's really focused on basically Drake's life and saying that, God's got a plan for me. And I can relate to Drake somewhat. Sometimes the obstacles and the good things that come, you can feel like, man, this is God's plan. Like this is what he wants. And then there's some of you who, like, there's some things that you desire that you don't necessarily get, and you wonder, what is God's plan? I mean, let's just be real. I mean, some of us have been waiting a long time for some certain stuff. I mean, some of y'all been waiting like decades for a relationship, and when you get a relationship, you're gonna have to blow the dust off yourself just because you've been waiting that long. I mean, some of us, have desires to, to get married and to have children, and you perhaps are married and practicing to have children. Well, I don't know if you can really, I guess you can practice, but like you want to practice for real. But you get what I'm trying to say. Like you want to have children with your spouse, and for whatever reason, the children aren't coming, and you're like, okay, like what's God's plan? And I just want to say, for those of you who are struggling with that, including myself, I want to throw myself in the struggle too, because I'm struggling sometimes with that. One thing I had to realize was that God's plan isn't my plan. It's not about me as much as it is about him. And it's funny because when I think about that, I think about Jesus and his struggle, because he struggled too in the Garden of Gethsemane. Everybody wants to act like Jesus never struggled and that he was just like, perfect and never had any human struggles whatsoever. Well, no, he did humanly struggle, especially when it came to dying on the cross for something that he didn't do. I mean, he was just like, man, here I am, an innocent dude, and yet I'm called to die on this cross and take on the sins of the entire world. Like, I mean, any human would struggle with that. And so Jesus struggles with that too. And he's like, if there's any other way, take this away from me. But he says, not my will be done, but your will be done. And he's talking to God the Father. And I think that's a glimpse for us, is that there's a lot of times when we can have strong desires, we can have wants, but ultimately it's not about our will as much as it is about his will. And so the moment you understand that God's plan isn't necessarily about your will being done, and that it's about his will being done, and really get that, then I think that'll make life a little bit easier for you. And when we talk about how God operates according to his plan, there's three things that he does. Number one, the first thing that he does is that he chooses. He chooses you way before you could ever be born. And that's actually what it talks about in Jeremiah 1:5, that before you were coming forth from the womb, that he knew you, that he had a plan for you, and that he chose you for a specific purpose. And of course, he's referring to Jeremiah the prophet specifically there, but that also applies to Christians as well, that he has a plan for us and that he cares for us. And then the second thing that he does is that he raises us up. That ultimately, once you come to faith in Christ, he provides those people in your life that are essential for helping you understand your identity, understand your purpose, understand your mission, all that stuff. And then once that happens, the third thing that he does is he unleashes you. He unleashes you to run for his glory and to bear fruit and help other people understand their purpose and their calling and their mission too. And so those are the three things by which God operates according to his plan, that he chooses, he raises, and he unleashes. And so if we can get those three things, then I think we can understand what God's plan is for us. And it's ultimately to work all things together for our good, to help us know him and help others know him as well. So thank you guys for watching this video, and feel free to like, subscribe, and share it. Peace.